G'day everyone, welcome to X3 Albion Prelude with the Soho, and it has been a very long time since I've played this mod. It's been a little over a year, and it's because I've had a lot of real life duties jump in the way of me playing video games, and secondly, because this mod actually had an update, and to update this mod I would have had to completely restart my game, and well, essentially that is what I have done. I have restarted my game, however, this time what I've done is to kind of keep the game in the same approximate location of where we were beforehand when I went on a little hiatus. What I have done is I'm at approximately the same state as I was before. I've taken a new start, I've done that first mission, and now I'm currently sitting in my wrong button. T-65B X-Wing, a very special scout X-Wing that we are given to do the second mission of the Albion Prelude campaign. Let's just go back into here, and what I've done is I think I had the settings for the NPC bailing mod like completely out of whack last time, just too many free things coming our way, and I'm alright with, after a big battle, maybe finding one or two very damaged ships coming around. But at the moment, well, not at the moment, the way it was, we were just finding dozens of ships at the fringes, especially the button again, that one, of the war sectors, Omicron Lyrie, Treasure Chest, Circle of Labor, Heretic's End, and they were just appearing en masse. And if I'm playing a salvager style of gameplay, that's alright, because I'd crank them up high and I wouldn't buy anything. I'd salvage, I'd repair, I'd sell. But I'm not doing that this time. I'm doing this as the beginning trader. Now, what I've actually done, taking the traditional alliance start to get general with it, usually in that start you start with an X-Wing. What I have done, just to keep it on par with my previous course, I'm not bringing in any other of my ships, but what I've done is I've just picked up my standard Hawk 290 freighter that I stole at the very beginning of my playthrough on my last save. I've just taken that, I've disposed of everything else we've got. If you take a look at my credit bank, I'm completely broke kitting out the T-65B here. And that's all it is. The Sundered Star, I've called the ship. I kind of like. I sat there for like 30 minutes just thinking of a name, and that is the name I have chosen. Somebody is going beep. Alright, so yeah, that's the name I've chosen. I've discarded every other of my ships, all of my money, and I basically started again. So no exploration done so far. I'm basically back at the beginning. So let's get
enduring live autopilot
that
off.
is the autopilot. Shift A. Shift
Autopilot
A. There's my autopilot.
activated.
Alright, so what I have been tasked to do at the moment is we have joined the Rebel Alliance, quote unquote. So I'm playing, just for a recap of those who are either just tuning in or didn't watch my first episode, and just joining in at the restart, is what we're doing is we are playing X3 Albion Prelude. This is the last major release of the X franchise, not counting Rebirth. I'm tentative about X4. I'm really excited, but at the moment I'm playing X3, and there is a brilliant mod by the name of Mikhail, and he has redone Star Wars ships for the X3 universe. And this mod is huge and absolutely brilliant. What I'm currently in is a T-65B, which is basically an X-Wing which has its wings locked shut, S-foils locked shut, and it's got these major sensor arrays placed on the nose through the proton torpedo tubes, and it's meant to act as a scout craft. And in this game at the moment, it's acting as a scout craft. It's really fast, it's really lightly armored and armed, and the shielding, actually haven't checked the shielding yet. I don't think it's very big. I'll check it once the next sector loads in. Jumping out of Argon M148, which in the mod has been renamed to Corellia. This mod also...
Entering system. Enduring autopilot off.
Let's get my joystick back up. I'm going that way. Get the mouse out the way. So what this mod has done is it's renamed several sectors. Excuse me. As you can see, what used to be M148 is now called Corellia. We've got Coruscant off to the side here, and you can even actually jump down to the surface, and that's its own little sector. And yes, the ground still works. Oh, not the ground works. He's actually put ground and ground landings in there. There's a couple other small sectors like that. If you watch the very first episode, we actually start off in Bespin. It's way off to the east side of the map. Oh, not east-west side of the map, in the pirate sectors, and we've got the Imperial sectors and all that. I've also added a few little sectors of my own, just way up in the north and northwest and northeast of the map. I've got just hidden passage sectors, which I really like. They're full of xenon, they're full of kark, full of asteroids, and they make, in my personal opinion, some of my favorite spots for home bases. Because what I used to do is I used to play with XRM, and they'd have these passage sectors, which are usually just full of pirates and passageways, and if they're between two old sectors, you'd also have this trading traffic going right through there, and they were brilliant places to set up spaceports and starports, and that would be the very aim of my empire building. The aim is to have our own galactic empire per se, maybe not the galactic empire, but a galactic empire. So I'll
Gate Nathan's voyage autopilot activated.
This just so I can get to the gate in time. Like, one brilliant thing about this game is Cedar. I've got it set to go up by about set time speed at about 8-fold, 10-fold. It can go up to 10-fold, but it kind of makes the game a bit wonky and gives you less time to react to autopilot screw-ups, which can and do happen. And because of that, one of the few things I am going to admit cheating about in this game is, if I get this out, I have turned on in the cheat script automated unlimited salvage insurance. Now, salvage insurance is a part of the game in its original form. You can only save outside of stations with salvage insurance, and it costs you 1 salvage insurance per save, and this save used that 1 salvage insurance, and you had to buy that with in-game credits, and they're actually fairly expensive. I think they're about 3,000 a piece, and in a modern video game that's just annoying. And whilst this game is relatively new in comparison,
Entering
it's still
system. Nathan's autopilot
it's not
off.
new anymore. Just thinking about it, I think this game's about 10 years old. Yeah, not quite 10 years,
Gate
but
Wastelands.
approximately 10 years. So just looking at some of the ships here for the Star Wars mod, maybe you see out the corner of my eye, but we've got another BR. Got
Argon heavy load transporter.
So we got these heavy load ships from the X-Wing series of games placed in. Let's see if I can
Teladi Energon Furco freight transporter.
Over here we got a YT-2400. Oh wow, that actually looks pretty cool. I want one of them. So not 2400, that's Dash Rendos. This is a YT-2000. There we go. It's a later variant of the Millennium Falcon style of ships, which has the cockpit in the middle. This particular one's from X-Wing Alliance. So this one is kitted out as a TS. It's not too bad, which is nice. What else we got in here? Got a wing of BRs. Yeah, here we go.
Argon.
We've got a U-Wing, which in the game is a TP. I'd like to get some more fleet of these things going. What else?
Argon. Civilian ship.
Here we go. The civilian ship is an old Naboo starfighter, which looks all beat to hell. And back again. So you see chrome, very rusted. What else we got? Try
Argon, Argon,
Here we go.
taxi service.
Here's a new one, they're all white. This is a true YT2400. Model's a little sparse, but he's been slowly updating all of them. And you've got... So, what side I am currently is the side of the Rebels. I'm going to take down the evil Galactic Empire, which in this case replaces the Terrans. So, the ATF have been replaced by the Imperial faction, and the Terrans are basically a sub-branch of that. And we've got this whole galactic war going on, which you would have seen in my previous episodes. What we have here is my task, actually, is as the Rebels. There's been a company doing some shady dealings. Oh, I do love that sound. What I've been tasked with is there's this big company just doing some shady
Entering
dealings
system, wastelands.
outside of government
Autopilot off.
rebellion scrutiny. So there's the East Gate, which I want to go to, just outside of range. Some technology from our scientists has just been ending up in Imperial hands.
Incoming message.
And I'll get to the message in a moment. And this technology, I've been tasked to track down
Gate, Midnight
company
Star.
that's been
Autopilot activated.
thought to do this. I'm going to eavesdrop on a meeting. Alright, what we've got else? Supply trader, high-tech, B-Wings, here we go.
TerraCorp, escort.
F3, there we go. So here we go, we've got a Y-Wing. Some of these models are really nice. That's a two-seater Y-Wing with the turret. We have
TerraCorp, escort.
these are all
Raider.
nice rebel ships. Zoom in a bit. It's our Rebellion's heavy fighter bomber. And we've got an A-Wing.
Argon, customs.
Here we go. Which is taking the customs with a cool blue paint job going on right at the moment. And that's looking pretty awesome. So at the moment I'm looking to continue my spy mission. Now, another small note change you may have noticed in...
Autopilot off.
Let's get out there using the joystick. One more small change you would have noticed in the mod is in the last patch they have actually, let's just get speed up top, replaced these gates with wormholes, which I'm actually kind of fan of. I don't like, because one of the major things in the original game is some of the ships were too big for the gates. These gates you used to go through were
Entering system, Midnight Star.
yeah, thank you, Midnight Star. Alright, let's just get throttle up. Anything decent in this sector? There you go.
John Furco, escort.
Here's your classic T65 X-Wing. They look good. You can color all of the markings as well. You saw the A-Wing in blue. The X-Wings, if you have a command hub, you can trade all these and paint them in colors when you make them, which is really cool. I prefer blue personally, the Knight Trading Company blue. I have a color set up for that. I've got written down somewhere, but not here in its entirety. What is
Plutarch, mineral transporter.
that? Looks like I've seen this ship. I just can't remember where it is, but it's acting as a heavy load transporter, and that is cool.
Gate, belt, autopilot activated.
Autopilot that through to the whoops. All right, yeah. This is why I don't like it on times 10 speeds, because sometimes, especially in tightly packed areas with asteroids, the autopilot just spazzes out and you'll fly straight into ships. Oh, speaking of which, message. So, this is another mod I've got in, Pilot Unions. It's part of the Codia pack, and that's in here. I've also got Mars, which is a very nice turret control script, as well as Smart. I like to use them interchangeably, because Smart is not quite as powerful as Mars, so I can't use a progression. Nothing, fighter control, Smart, Mars, because it's slowly getting more complex. This is part of the Codia pack. You can hire pilots to fly your ships. They're actually pretty good if you set them up right. I've not managed to set them up right very often, but oh well. What I was going to do, bounce has been enabled. It's a very, very good thing that the mod author has included. It is the bounce script for X3 Albion Prelude, and that should take any small collisions or high-speed collisions, more correctly, and just bounce them off. And this should save things in regards to the autopilot, so that is not only with my autopilot, but also with the autopilot of any fighters you or the AI in this game own. And that is very, very nice, because if you want a fleet, the enemy more often than not has a bad habit of knocking fighters together, especially if they're going either after a big ship or a single target, because they'd all tend to cluster together at the back and they'd hit each other. Or alternatively, especially a big problem with these M5s and with the speed upgrades that this mod adds.
Entering system.
So much
Belt
worse.
autopilot off.
Over to the belt. So I think I'm in one of the trade hubs now. Where was I? Yeah, and especially with the bigger ships and the M5s with their new much higher speed, they'd just collide. They'd fly straight into each other and the AI can't react fast enough. And that just stops that. Back to where I was like, gates. I started with gates, and that was about 5 minutes ago. Alright, so they've removed the gate, and because some of the ships had a bad habit of hitting gates, especially if you've got a Kyoto. And I really love the X3 Kyotos. I don't know, just Terran ships have this sleek look. I do love the Terran capital ships. Not so much their fighters, but the Terran capitals, I think, look pretty good. The Mikasa and not the Mikasa, I'm thinking actual ships, but the Kyoto, the Osaka, Makana, there we go. They all look brilliant, and playing with XVM, they had lots of brilliant
Gate.
ships. So
I'll be
just
autopilot
autopilot
activated.
through that as well. So I'm autopiloting through this just in case there's a ship coming in the other side, because you exit the gate at the same point you enter the gate. And this has happened every now and again. I've had this happen a couple of times if I'm not autopiloting it. Big ship one end, little ship other end. Yeah, hitting each other at light speed happens. Even coming out of light speed, fairly devastating, especially if you're in a small ship like this. I'm in an M5, it's a scout ship, one of the smallest in the game. Oh, speaking of which, how much shields do I have? I've got 1 megajoule shield. Oh god. Don't screw up. So, 1 megajoule of shielding, not good. The thing is, this game, in a lot of other games, you are the hero of your
Sergeant, we have received word that the meeting is already underway. You must find the John Furco command ship somewhere in your sector. We have engaged listening protocols on your ship's computer, so you can intercept their ship-to-ship communications. Again, do not get drawn into any conflict. At the first sign of trouble, disengage and return to base. We will be monitoring communications remotely. Derek, out.
Alright, thank you very much, Derek. And I've completely lost track of where I was.
Argon. Military.
There's a military ship. That's a Star Wars ship. I recognize it from the Alliance X-Wing games. But I don't know what ship it is. I'm looking for a John Furco ship, and I've completely lost track of what I was going to say. Oh, yes. No, but let's just... Military... Plutarch. Nothing else at the moment. Oh, John Furco.
John Furco. Command ship.
That's a Pelter class, which seems to have a hole in the back. Looking at it, that's no good. But at the front, it's not bad. Alright. Where was I? And never the twain shall meet. Yeah, you're a very small fish in this game, especially right at the start. I have nothing. I've got my freighter. I have my newly acquired M5, which you are given for this mission. That's it. You are a small fish in a very, very big ocean. And that is not a pleasant thing. Because if you are not careful, you will be blown away very quickly. Especially if you're the kind of pilot who has bravado. And you may have seen that in my previous couple of episodes.
What are they doing here? We're going to radio silence. Try to get as much information as possible, but don't get too close.
Okay. Radio silence. This is Moon Efficient Frigate. Oh, that's neat. That's really neat. And really big. As I was saying, they seem small now, but if I get right up close to these guys, you will see the scale difference. I can probably fly in his rib structure. And not good. Alright, now I need to keep the distance close, but not too close.
Up ahead, we have the highway construction area. It takes us several
A.
weeks to build and configure each gate, but we have several production lines and are investing in more avenues of research to speed up the process.
Oh, from the John Furco ship.
John Furco, command ship.
Back. I had my cursor on the wrong ship. I'm going the other way. Oh, he's coming my way too. Oop, let's go right away. Not here. There's turbo boost.
Are there any working prototypes of these devices for you to demonstrate?
Break.
No, our first tests were scheduled for 2 weeks' time, but the escalation of the war has forced us to rethink our timetable.
Stand by.
Approach the command ship, so let's get a little bit closer. It's not fair, they're going in different directions.
You bring us here with false promises and nothing to show but a dead husk of metal. We anticipated this deceitful possibility, and I have the authority to sever negotiations with your lower-life company. What do you offer us to prevent this?
We also anticipated this outcome, so I have authority to provide you with all of our highway research and 3 prototype highway gates. I'm sure your scientists will be able to verify our findings. These highways will be powerful tools, opening up entire solar systems in a way we had never before dreamed possible. As with all powerful technologies, though, it can be abused. We trust that you will use it wisely.
This offer would be acceptable to us. I am accustomed to Argon being short-sighted and unworthy of our attention. It is agreeable to see some Argon attempting to emulate Paranid levels of foresight and preparation.
It pleases me to hear that. Unfortunately, we must pause proceedings. We have detected a suspicious ship nearby. It could be attempting to listen in on our conversation.
Indeed, that ship reeks of Argon's Secret Service. It appears that your security leaves much to be desired.
Oh, I feel
Let us
like I've
hope
been
that your
made.
designers are of a better caliber.
I feel like I've been made. Time to go. Alright, Cedar. Moving on. Oh, that was sneaky. So we've got the... So one thing that hasn't been changed is the voiceovers to all this. That's still the base one. The guy making... Still love that sound. The guy making the Star Wars mod is just a guy.
Entering system. Belt of Aguilar.
Accelerate out. So I think this is actually... Let's point the camera over there. John Furco headquarters.
Pulsed beam emit. John Furco headquarters.
It is. Did I sell anything decent? Not really. Oh well.
Argon.
What is that? Ewing. Alright, okay, Sita. What do I aim back on? So, yeah, the one thing that hasn't changed
Midnight Star.
Thank you, computer. So one thing that hasn't changed, third time's the charm, is the audio files. The guy making this mod is just one guy, and he is a brilliant guy. I'll put a link to the mod in my description. Go see him. Go help him. His computer has been broken recently, and he's currently fixing it.
Entering
Go for it
system.
if you want to
Midnight Star.
support this guy if you love this mod. And it's brilliant. This mod also has the music in here, but I've turned them way down because on one of my last clips, Disney. That's all I really need to say. But well. So what I'm going to do is hopefully avoid traffic here. There we go. So yeah, so that really was a thing. So that John Furco company that we went through is selling tech to the Paranid, who aren't our enemy per se. In the lore of X3, at the time of Albion Prelude, the Terrans have just come back to the galaxy. They've found their way from Earth to us, the Argon, and the Argon are pretty much humans who have come away from Earth and then was separated through some mass cataclysmic event. I'm not too brushed
Entering
up
system. Wastelands.
on the specific giant cataclysmic event that separated us. Something to do with Gates and Xenon, which are evil alien species in this game. Oh, crummy joystick. I've still got my trimming left on from when I was playing War Thunder the other day. I do like my good old simulator battles. So yes, in the Paranid, all the alien races and the Argons have sort of banded together to fight back the Terrans, who are just these big bad at the moment. They've come and they've started asserting themselves with aggressive negotiations, essentially, because I think in the original game of X3 and Terran Conflict, the game Albion Prelude is an expansion to. It's basically them trying to...
Pirate.
Ooh. I might be able to give him a hand. Or die in a really big fire. Who's the pirate fighting? Local customs. Now, I do believe I have pirate fighting license, a police license, there we go. I'd much rather prefer to help in my bigger ship, because that's got bigger guns. But might as well see what I can do, if anything. He's being completely harried.
Argon. Customs.
By the
Raider.
X-Wing. Alright. Let's go.
Pirate.
On behalf of our President and Senator, the Argon Federation thank you for your help with this invader. As a reward, you get 5,000 credits.
You are being promoted.
Alright, maybe I simply stole that kill from them, but I am going to take the 5,000 credits. So what has he dropped? Proton torpedoes and poltergeist missiles. Can this ship even launch missiles? DHM6 A2s, mosquito missiles, almost. So the light defense missiles are the replacement for the mosquito missiles. Almost any ship can launch them as anti-missile missiles, essentially, or like M5 killers, but it's not really good at that either. Can't use the poltergeist, but proton torpedo. Nah, I can't pick either of them up. Will the proton torpedo even fit in my bay? Because I think my Hawk can release the poltergeists.
Cargo bay now contains. Cargo bay now
Alright, there we go.
contains poltergeist missile.
So not only
Gate Nathan's Voyage.
intrigue, there's a little bit of fight in this mission. There we go, we're slowly making our way back to Corellia. And when I get to Corellia, I will end the episode, and that will be a very good time to call it. For now, I tend to do episodes in about a half hour, because they're easy to upload, and I don't have a really good internet, being Australian and all that. Even our NBN plan is so laughable to so many degrees, but I will not get on my soapbox about that now. Alrighty, come on game, load in. Anytime now. Whenever you're ready. Hey, there we go. And it's still a wee bit frozen. Come on. I know you're an old game, but this is a new computer. Let's go. Yep, there we go, we had movement.
Entering system, Nathan's Voyage.
Nathan's Voyage, so we are 2 jumps away from where we want to be. Anything interesting in here? M5, YT-24.
Goner.
So, the Goner have been replaced by Jedi, and they're using the good YT-2400 model. So there are a couple of different models of a couple of different ships. Some of them are good, like this one, others are not. And he's slowly replacing the not so good ones with the better ones. It's my fat ass. Wait, can you... Sorry, I just like seeing this. Yes, you can. I do like this guy. He is a very good modeler. After all this, all the people he's gotten them from. I think he did the X-Wings himself. You can see the Sherman kit that was used to make the back of the X-Wing. Because in the original Star Wars, these X-Wings were kit bashed from a whole heap of model kits themselves. And just here, what you can see is the hull minus some of the engine deck of an M4, I guess A3 Sherman. And that is neat. You can see this all throughout Star Wars. It's made full of little model kits. So you got Sherman here, I think up the top you can see the engine deck of a Panther. So that's this little bit here, and a Tiger II. And I know there's definitely a Tiger II on the Y-Wing. This looks like the engine hatch of a Panther, along with one of the fans. And that's all I can really see on... Oh, that was close. Alright, Hollow, watch where you're driving. But yeah, that...
Argon Gourmet Direct.
Gourmet Direct is... I have no idea what that is.
Gate Enduring Light.
Let's activate the seat up, but... Yeah, all these ships are made from model kits, and let's go up there. Are made from these model kits, and they're bloody brilliant, and I personally am just really impressed. And I like make English has failed me for a moment. I like
Entering
making
system,
these model kits
Enduring Light.
for myself, and I know how difficult it is to kit bash things, and they're just brilliant. And what is that? Weapons.
Argon Weapons Dealer.
That is the Corvette from The Last Jedi. Ooh, that's neat. So it in itself seems to be missing... Alright, the command deck has been made clear, and there's no inside surfaces of the model. But that aside, that is neat. What ship is that? ATMW. It doesn't tell. Okay, back to looking at the road before I do actually run into something.
Gate Argon Autopilot activated.
Autopilot. So yeah, the kit bashings are brilliant, and some of the models in this game, yeah, that the mod has introduced, are detailed down to that level, and I'm just a little excited. The little kid in me is going, oh, I love Star Wars. That is absolutely awesome. But anyways, this is getting to the final jump all the way into the Corellian home system. With any luck, we'll be getting onto some good old Imperial crushing in the next episode. So this is basically another getting to know you episode, getting into the swing of things episode, just explaining my absence, explaining the game again. And that's it. So once this loads in, yeah, whatever, I'll do it right now anyways, but thank you guys for watching. If you do like what you see, don't forget to throw a like in and subscribe. If you want a link to the Star Wars Reborn mod, that will be in the video description, and don't forget, take it easy everyone.